Let's get things started by talking about recruiting before we look ahead to the season, which, as Doug just mentioned, we are literally knocking on the door of here. But the recruiting trail maybe getting a little bit hot. Evan, give us some updates.
Yeah, right now I think we've seen basically the summer commitments we were going to see. There was a lot of talk. Elijah Hughes from day one has said he wanted to make a decision in August, but I think he's gotten so much attention in the last maybe month or so that he just wants to take his time and make sure he sees everything. He really wanted Stanford. He solicited Stanford. He went out there on his own dime to get the Stanford offer. It's as I always say, it's the hardest offer in the country to get. It's harder to get than Alabama. It's harder to get than Clemson. It's the hardest offer out there to get due to the high academic standards and the sheer lack of volume of offers that go out from Stanford. So he got that offer. That was his dream school. I flipped my prediction to Stanford. Thought they would get him. I thought it would fairly quick too. And he hasn't pulled the trigger anywhere. I flipped it back to Virginia Tech because he was there for the Hokie Fest. Every inkling we got out of that weekend was Virginia Tech was going to be tough to beat. They rolled out the red carpet. They showed him everything he and his family wanted to see. Since then, I think Miami offered, Virginia offered, just got the USC Trojans this week. So I think more is just going to come in for him. He's a guy, I've talked to him numerous times. He's very intelligent and he is going to take his time. He had a tentative timeline of August. Now new variables are in play. He's gonna take that time and think it out with him and his family and kind of see what shakes out. I don't have a time frame anymore on him. He could take some officials. He could go out to the West Coast in the fall, see what's going over there, see what new offers come in. He does have a connection to Virginia Tech. His brother is a sophomore there right now, and I think that plays into it. He's got some West Coast ties from what I've heard. I haven't directly talked to him about the West Coast. I talked to him a lot about where he's at in his recruitment and specifically about Virginia Tech. But I have heard he has some ties out west, so that's going to be one that's going to be interesting to watch. He's a top guy for Virginia Tech. They offered him early, and they've been the constant throughout his entire recruitment. Obviously, there's a little pause that he hasn't ended it yet. But knowing what I know about him and the way he is calculating, with what's going on in his recruitment, I think it's smart that he's going to continue to keep looking and make sure he makes the right decision. So, he's kind of one we're keying in on moving forward. Him and Mason Kelly, I think, is another one out of